We are Gathering of the Geeks, podcast and YouTube show built around the things we as geeks all love. Hashtag We Gather on Sundays. Thank you for checking out the one about Spider-Man and theme songs. I am one of your hosts, Emmet, and I'm joined by the Ted Lasso to my Coach Beard, Chris Evans. Chris, how are you?
I'm good. My volume was really loud just now. I didn't realize it. So when the theme song kicked in, I might need a new eardrum.
Yeah, you're really amped up. You're
You're
dialed in now.
I am. I am. If anybody knows any ear donors or something, let me know. I'm very disoriented now.
Nice. Gathering of the Geeks is available wherever you find YouTube videos and podcasts. Just search Gathering of the Geeks and you will find us. Hey, what's up, everybody in the comments already? Lauren, Eric, Grabs, Cookie, Phil, and Ian. How is everyone doing on this fine Sunday evening? I just wanted to mention Grabs for a minute, and it was something you mentioned on you commented on Grabs' Twitter account about his garden.
Oh, yeah.
That is some next level gardening.
It is. It's really cool. Like that caught my eye immediately.
Yeah, like it's an instant stop when you're scrolling through Twitter and you kind of glaze over the mindless numbing of people complaining about things. But that man and his family have one hell of a garden. So yeah, that's right. Thank you. So if you haven't already, make sure you go to Grab's Twitter account. Show that man some love with his garden. It's really outstanding, the work that he puts in. And thanks for sharing as well, Grabs. It's really cool to see.
Well, I mean, we could do that, but we also have the classic. So
yeah, the classic can't be beat.
Right. I mean, I can't put this up over there. It would block Wolverine and Nathaniel and everybody else.
Well, I had to take down my Batman Beyond DVD set because Eddie would just going to come on this stream eventually and he'd spam it and say that he wants it and blah blah blah. So I took it right down and I'm starting the hashtag Zeddy is.
Oh, is that what? Okay, I couldn't read
it. Yeah, it's really awful. I did it 2 seconds before I logged in here, but that's what it is.
It works. We were both late, so he was doing that, and I was repositioning Mr. Sinister back there.
Yeah, that's right. Another thing you sent that to me, Chris, and I went back and looked at your Twitter timeline, saw the kind of the box of Nathaniel. It was very cool, man.
I love the box. It's so it's like a 2 VHS box. It's really cool. I love it.
Yeah, awesome stuff.
Classy as always.
Yeah, that's right. So we're gonna get into our what we read, what we watched this week, guys. What did you guys watch? What'd you read? Let us know in the comments. So, Chris, how was your week, man? What did you get up to?
I actually had kind of a busy week where I can't remember much of what I watched or read, but I know there was a lot of TV. What We Do in the Shadows was a big thing for me. They started with a 2-episode premiere. That was fun. Another episode of Blackbird, which I previously mentioned. Everybody should be watching that. It's awesome. Nico mentioned Miss Marvel. I think the finale was this week. I don't know. Was it this week? That day's kind of a blur to me.
I thought about that too. I'm like, okay, we're going to talk about the finale. Was it just this past Wednesday?
It's kind of a blur to me because I really only remember a 6-second exchange.
Well, and it doesn't help that we didn't do a regular show last week, so there's no real continuity. But we're going to talk about Miss Marvel as well.
Yes, I'm excited about that. Which then I watched a bunch of movies like Parasite, which I loved. That was amazing, and I watched Under the Skin with Scarlett Johansson.
What's the Under the Skin one? Is that the one where she's an alien or something?
Yes, she is an alien.
Right.
They don't explain much. It's really then there's not a lot of plot to it. It's like a character movie, I guess. You just kind of watch it and you watch this character go through some stuff. Not much of a plot, but it's very interesting.
And I saw your kind of your quick Twitter review of Parasite. But maybe we want to talk about a little bit more. Kind of, obviously it won Best Picture at the Oscars 2 years ago. Sometime. I watched it late. I think I watched it maybe within the last 9 months, maybe. Obviously, you just watched it.
Mm-hmm.
So why did it take you so long? Obviously, you do have a pile of things that you watch, that you read, that you never get to. Is that kind of what it
Eventually.
is? You just kind of got lost?
Yeah, it kind of got lost. Also, to be honest, I didn't know what it was.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a horror movie.
Parasite. Yeah,
Right. I
exactly.
thought it was a horror movie. I'd seen the poster with the eyes out, so like, and then there's like clearly a dead body. So
Yeah.
like, okay, so this is some type of horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I sat down and watched it, I was like, oh no, this is a comedy. Wait, no,
Mm.
it's not.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just kind of it took a while for me to get to it, but I'm glad that I did. It's probably it is one of the best Oscar winners I've watched. It
Mm.
really lived up to the hype. And I was telling actually Nick, oh, there it is.
You see, that's his first comment.
There it is. It's there's something about it that just works though with Parasite.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a perfect storm. And I liked Snowpiercer from this director too. I thought
Yeah,
Snowpiercer was fantastic.
I agree with that. Yep.
And this one I think is even better than Snowpiercer.
Hmm. It's a very different movie. Like you said, if you don't know what the movie was about and you're going into it, which is the way I went into it, I had no idea what the movie was. I don't even know if I thought or knew that it was a foreign language film.
Mm-hmm.
I think I just assumed that it was an English language one because it won Best Picture at the Oscars, and that's kind of very different as well. Yeah, and like you said, when you started watching it, it felt like a comedy.
Mm-hmm.
And like there's funny moments that go throughout the entirety of the movie, but the messaging, the symbolism, and actually what happens towards the middle and end of the movie, it's not very funny at all. It's an experience. Yeah, it's an experience that I think I'm glad that I went through. I'm glad that I watched it. Yeah, it's a good one for sure. I like this Jurassic World Dominion fight that's going on, or not fight, but comments that are going in the comments as well. Ian is the downer, and Nico is on the opposite side. We just watched it. My family just watched it. My son and my wife watched it sometime this week. My son had a great time with it for lots of reasons. Dinosaurs, doing dinosaur-y things. I think it was one of the worst Jurassic World movies, aside from Jurassic Park 3.
You know what?
Where it is? There it is. Technical file. There was a lot I didn't like about it. A lot I didn't like about it, and not very much that I did. And the stuff that I did like, they didn't have enough of it. I don't have an urge to watch it again. I actually tried putting it on for my son 2 days after we watched it, and he didn't want to watch it again. So I wonder if there's kind of an underlying thing that maybe he didn't have the best time with it, but I'm not really sure. Like, the motorcycle scene through, I think they're in Italy. He loved that scene. Yeah, with the different type of raptors, like the T-Rex raptors or whatever it is. So I think he had a good time with it. I did not, in every shape or form. At all. It was another one, I really wanted to see it in theaters, but my son had multiple birthday parties to go to that weekend, so we didn't get to it. So I'm glad it was out on digital. We checked it out, and my son liked it, I think. I had no fun watching that movie at all.
At all? No fun?
Yeah, no, like maybe a bit. Maybe the stuff with Beta, a little bit with the early stuff with Beta.
Beta was adorable.
Yeah, and I agree. And we talked about this, about the kind of the callbacks to the first movie with Dodson, the Dilophosaurus, that kind of thing. Cool stuff. But the inclusion of the legacy characters and how they use them basically as jokes the entirety of the movie, I thought that was very bad. Very poorly done. I thought the final fight between the I call it a Gigantosaurus, but they call it something else in the
That's what it was called.
They call it like a Giganotosaurus or something.
Oh, I thought it was Gigantosaurus.
Anyways, there's a cartoon that's called Gigantosaurus, and that's what we call it. Between that, the T-Rex, and the whatever the long claw thing is. I don't remember what that one was called.
Bird Rex is what I'm going to call it.
Sure. So that fight, I wish it was longer, but the little bit of it was good. Like the T-Rex playing dead, I thought was incredibly lame. Anyway, I don't want to keep getting on and on about it because I know Nico tweeted it out, and he's a big fan of it. It's made $900 million.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people like it. Chris, you like it a lot.
Sir, I disagree with everything you've said.
Yeah, exactly.
I enjoyed it. That's where we'll leave that. I disagree, and I enjoyed it.
Leave it. That's well, there's not much else to say,
I think it's that moonshine you're drinking talking.
Yeah. This white, clear, water-tasting moonshine.
It's moonshine, yeah. I've seen it in movies and stuff.
That's right. You said you really didn't read much this week. Didn't get into anything.
No, I read Moon Knight from whatever week that was. And this is a funny thing. I've been trying to read Immortal X-Men for weeks now. Every time I sit down to watch it, it's like an alarm goes off around me because everybody needs me at that time. And it's always the same thing. I'll get like 5 pages into it, and then the alarm just starts sounding. So I have to put it down, and I don't go back to it. I forget about it until the next one comes out. Like, oh, I need to catch up. So we're still in the catch-up phase. But those first five pages, badass.
What made those first 5 pages so good?
Oh, just Storm and Magneto tearing stuff up. I like it.
Oh yeah, nothing wrong with that.
No, I love Storm, and it's good to see her get a more of a prominent role. And Magneto's always good, unless it's he's really old in a movie. But that's about it.
All right.
I also rewatched X-Men, or most of it,
because of Miss Marvel. Is that kind of just?
I was just really hyped.
Yeah.
I was almost grabbing the Wolverine figure while I was watching it, like a child with a teddy bear.
Yeah, that's right. Doing the slices and dices just like Wolverine's doing.
Well, I do that all day anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really didn't read much. Even like the indie stuff I would normally read, I haven't touched. I still haven't read Little Monsters. I'm behind on Little Monsters. Mm-hmm. Was it 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, Little Monsters 5 was. I think it was 2 weeks ago.
Oh, actually, I did read something. I read Buffy. There's this new comic. It's called Buffy 97, and it's kind of like a reimagining of the show.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty cool because there's a ton of Buffy comics actually. Boom Studios just does.
Is that one still going? Is that one still going on? The Last Vampire Slayer, is that one that one's called?
I have no idea. I didn't even look back.
You didn't. Yeah, you didn't like that one. I remember. So
did not look back.
Did not look back.
No, but 97 is good.
Nice.
I read 8 billion. Yeah, 8 billion genies is on everyone's list right now. Mm-hmm. I know you read it, Emmett. I still haven't, but I will at some point. What do you think?
Issue 1 came out. I guess it's over 2 months now, and I didn't read it when it came out, but then I read that Amazon picked it up for series, for movies, for a whole entire world. So then I wanted to get right into it. And I agree with Grabs here. It's going to read really good and collected. The first issue is very good. Specifically, if you read it not knowing exactly what the story is. Actually, the name of the title, Chris, and like you're usually pretty good at this stuff. But you'll know exactly what you'll be able to tell me what the book is about just by exactly what the title of the book is.
8 billion genies.
Exactly.
It's about 8 billion genies.
Exactly. Easy enough. So the first 2 issues are very, very good, and it feels like the third issue that just came out, I'm pretty sure it was just this past week. It's already feels to me like it's on the downturn. It's starting to slow down a little bit. That could be that it's because it's the middle of the first arc, and maybe eventually they'll pick it up for 5 and 6 if they're doing a 6-issue first arc or whatever. But I'm going to keep reading because it's a very interesting idea as well. I can tell you it's not a spoiler. It's about all of a sudden 8 billion genies. There's 8 billion people in the world. Every person gets a genie, and they get exactly one wish. And it's so like the first page is total population of the world 8 billion people. Total population of genies 8 billion. So once you make a wish, the genie goes away, and then by the start of the second book, it'll be like 7.5 billion people and 6.5 billion genies. So there's like a countdown about what are people doing with their wishes, and it's an interesting idea. It'll be really interesting to see what they do with it on the screen. If it's a TV show or a movie, it'll be very interesting how they roll it out.
But I'm assuming there's one like central character you follow.
Yeah. So as the book opens, there's a guy who owns a bar, and the people in the bar, the guy's one wish is whatever happens, no matter what anybody else's wish is, nothing will change inside this bar. So his wish is that I wish nothing will ever change with the people inside this.
Genies.
Exactly. So you see the outside world, but the people inside this bar, you follow them inside this bar. Is nothing can happen no matter what happens. Somebody could wish for a nuclear holocaust and the entire world will blow up. That little bar inside that in the world will nothing will happen to it and the people inside of it.
Okay, not what I thought it was.
Yeah.
I thought we followed genies around doing mischief and granting wishes.
No, and it's very interesting about why the genies are here, the rules that the genies have about their wishes. Like there's a whole, you can tell that I think you asked me if it was an ongoing thing.
Yeah.
Just the world that they're building, it's going to get really large, and I expect like if they wrap it up, there'll be a spin-off where there's the other side of the world, and you see what happens with another group of people and their genies, what have you. So it's an interesting. I think you're 3 issues behind now. I guess you could read it, or like Grab said, you just wait for the collected and read it all at once. Then
chances are, if I wait for the collected, I'll never read it. So I might as well start. Just being honest.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I'll start soon, maybe this week, if I have time. I might be watching Parasite again.
Yeah. Nothing really stuck out for me reading wise either. There was something else that I read, and I can't remember what it was.
That book you sent me?
There was something else from this week. The Lonesome Hunter was the one that I sent you, but there was another. I can't remember what it is now. It doesn't matter. So I didn't really read too much either, but I did want to talk about something that I got caught up on that we did talk about, and we're both big fans of, and that's Only Murders in the Building.
Yes.
I think we're up to 4 episodes now.
Yes, I believe so.
I think so. Okay, so I'm all caught up. It's crazy to think that there's 4 episodes already, and it feels like, what is there, 4 more, maybe 5 more, and that's going to be it. So we're already at the midway part of the season, or is it 12? I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember. Let's use the interwebs till we have that. We'll see how many episodes were last season.
Okay. So actually, before we get to Only Murders in the Building, I did want to talk about this comment from Ian about the Mandalorian comic. 10 episodes. So we're almost at the halfway point. This Mandalorian comic that Marvel put out, it's exactly the TV show.
Is that bad though?
It is, because there's nothing new.
Okay.
So I was hoping that it was going to be, a story in between or before season 1, or in between season 1 and season 2, or something like that. A different thing. But it's literally a blow by blow, step by step retelling of like first issue.
It's like an adaptation.
Yeah. But they don't. Okay. They're not adapting it; they're copying it. So it's just. I read it. I'm like, whoa, kind of cool. A first issue, Mandalorian. Let's see what else they got. Maybe it's going to lead into season 3 or something. But it's just a retelling of the exact first. The first issue is the exact first episode of the show. Like it ends with Grogu and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I saw that people were buying it, but I don't think I saw anybody talk about it afterward.
Yeah.
I didn't see anybody talk about that new Daredevil book either, which is kind of strange.
Yeah, we talked about that briefly. And yeah, I don't know if it's just because they're relaunching Daredevil again. It's a number 1.
I'm excited.
And, it's legacy 760 million or something. I don't really know. But yeah, I noticed the same thing. Not a lot of people talked about it. Okay, so Only Murders in the Building. 10 episodes, 4 episodes so far. I mentioned to you, Chris, that I think it's just as good as season 1, maybe even a little bit better. How are you feeling about it?
I'm thinking the same thing. It's as good as season 1, but something I'm liking about this season a little bit more, and this just comes with not being the origin season. We already know all the characters, so it just takes off running.
Yep.
So that's something I'm really enjoying. You know, the relationship's already built. We know everybody. They brought some characters back, like Howard, who I
Yeah,
thought
that
was
was
fun.
interesting.
Yeah, and Howard, I didn't think people really liked last season anyway. So it's fun to see him back and in a uh, better light, I guess.
Sure.
People seem to like him more. And the mystery this time is a little bit more. It's not as straightforward, I think, because it's not just, you know. Well, I guess it is. It's a murder, so yes.
Sure.
But I think there's more moving pieces this time, I suppose.
Hmm. Yeah, I was kind of worried the smallest bit when we saw the trailer with some of the inclusion of some of the bigger named actors and actresses in it.
Hmm.
Amy Schumer, Cara Delevingne, somebody else I can't remember.
I think the actress who plays the new, uh, I want to say Lord of the Building. What was Bunny?
Oh, the I know that she's pregnant in this one.
Yeah,
The
the
woman.
administrator. I don't know what you call Bunny's position, but the
Yeah,
new one.
the Lord of the Building works for
Yeah,
me.
Nina is her name on the series, I believe. The Lord of the Building.
Yeah.
But I think she's new also. I don't remember her.
Yeah, since I mentioned Amy Schumer, it was something I expected that she was going to be the murderer in this season, just because of the whole idea of Amy Schumer recently. It seems like since the Oscars and so what, but it's interesting her character. She's playing herself,
Mm-hmm.
or caricature of
Is she?
herself. Yeah, and that's the thing. Is that maybe it is, but maybe it isn't. I think it's interesting that she's playing herself though, and playing it to a T. Pretty well. So I don't think Amy Schumer's did it now. Now I think Cara Delevingne's is doing it. I think she's a little too perfect with the stuff she's going on with what's her name, Selena Gomez's character.
Yeah, if I were to bet all the Monopoly money in the world, it would be her right now.
Yeah,
but we'll see. This is a show where every time you think you got to figure out the next episode changes.
Yes.
That.
Yeah.
So we'll see where it goes. Like last season, I didn't guess that it was who it was.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not good guessing anyway. But still, this one, I don't know. I am with you though. I think it's Kara or Cara. I don't know how you say it.
Yeah, and Grabs mentioned it. The writing is so clever. How they lead you down one path and then they turn you down another. Like specifically with the episode with Steve Martin's father, where we think he's going to an audition or whatever, and he's cheating and sleeping with another woman who's maybe Bunny or
her mother.
Her Bunny's mother. That's right.
Yeah, because Bunny and him could possibly have been sisters.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, so that whole thing, and then the thing about with Uncle Brazos, I think is very funny. The TV show, I think that's really fun. The one scene that stands out over the first four episodes is the episode with Nathan Lane and Martin Short in the elevator.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And Nathan Lane is so good in that small scene, saying he's and specifically the last couple sentences he says to Martin Short. You can't say it on here. It's I don't know, say it's vulgar, but it's very explicit. And it's very funny at the same time, and also a little scary at the same time.
Is it just me, or is this season a bit more vulgar? Like I feel like they're using a bit more adult language. Like I don't care. I'm an adult. I don't care. But it's just something I'm noticing.
And the painting too, with the.
I mean, that's okay.
With his balls. Art. They're talking about his balls.
It's art, artistic. That's fine. Ian brings up a good point. It could be multiple killers because the one that we did see looks more like a big guy, but
yeah,
we'll see. But they could be working together. It could be like Scream, where there's multiple killers now every time, or multiple villains.
Yeah, and it's already renewed for a season 3, so that's good. I saw that today,
I saw that.
Or yesterday, I can't remember. So that's very cool. It'll be interesting how they end it, if they kind of do the same thing where it's Selena Gomez's character is kind of caught up in the end of it. If they do the flip side and have Steve Martin or Martin Short's character kind of mixed into the issue. The one fault, it's not a fault, but they got rid of that ending of season 1 very quickly.
Which one?
Like she's covered in blood
Oh yeah, they run.
kneeling over his bunny body. And then they go to the opening scenes of season 2 is them in the police station with the one actress and Michael Rappaport, I think, as the cops. And then they're gone, and that's it. So maybe if they come back around to it, it might be pretty cool. But you would, and I guess like they mentioned it, they don't have the murder weapon. But they kind of just got out of that season 1 ending pretty quickly.
Yeah, they did, I guess, but they got to keep it moving. And plus, like they gotta. Lauren wants to see more Selena and Cara. They got to get to that stuff. Chris from Lost in Comics says it's such a great blend of comedy and noir. We don't have enough of that done well, and I completely agree with that. The show is unique that way, and really, I don't think it would work without the leads. That's a big thing for me too. And Ian's all or the police. I think you can't really go back to the police because they were so heavily featured in the first season. Yeah, I think maybe that's why. I don't know. That is where 95% of the vulgarity came from. Yeah, I remember the first season had it too. It just feels like there's more this season. I don't know. It could just be me.
Or it's just Nathan Lane. Yeah, it's an interesting show too. Like with its leads, it's got obviously Selena Gomez, but then it's got two, Martin Short, Steve Martin, and Nathan Lane also in it. Like it's a show for people like us, younger, middle-aged people. Then like someone like my mother, who's 65 or whatever, saying, "Oh, Steve Martin and Martin Short." Like it's a real good blend, and it's got the comedy, and it's got the seriousness, it's got the murder mystery. I don't want to say it's a show for everybody because obviously we're talking about the vulgar stuff, and
that's okay.
But it is. It's a really different type of show because of the blend. Because of the blend of everything.
It's very unique, and the cast really does sell it. I really don't think it works without this cast. I don't. And what's funny is, going into it, I was like, I don't really know who Selena Gomez is. It's like, well, I know these two. I love them. I guess I'll watch it.
Yeah.
And she's one of my favorite characters of the three. There's only 3 of them, but still.
Yeah, well, we mentioned that because they just announced the Emmy nominations this past week and how she was left off. And how we both thought that was a little bit strange because of how, it's the 3 of them. It feels like it's not just one or the other. It feels like the 3 of them all at the top of their game, and feels like she was kind of shortchanged a little bit.
I think so too, because I feel like she elevated the show in a way. She brought that younger dynamic to it, and it doesn't feel forced.
Yeah,
and I mean, we saw in this season, even she can't decipher all the young stuff either, which was funny.
Yep.
Bet.
Yeah. So that's what I got caught up on this week. I don't remember what days it comes out on.
It's Tuesdays, but Hulu actually puts them online, I think at like 11 or 12 Central Time, which I didn't know until the other last time. But I was watching something else anyway, so I didn't watch it. But they were watching Barry.
How's your Barry watch going? What are you up to now?
Ian, that is a technical foul, bro.
Yeah, put it up there. Thank you, Chris. Thank you.
Barry, I am halfway through the 2nd season.
Nice.
Grabs and Chris are letting us know it is Tuesday. I thought it was, but I wasn't sure. I'm halfway through the 2nd season. I love Barry. It's so good. And I didn't know what NoHo Hank meant, but now it's North Hollywood. I get it.
That's right. Yeah.
I've been reading the captions. It keeps saying NoHo Hank. I'm like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Now I
very Californian, I guess.
I guess so. I don't know. Now I'm going to learn what Soho means because I have no idea what Soho means.
It's funny. I was watching. I think there was a featurette, like a making of Barry, and hearing him talk in real life, and hearing him talk in the TV show. It's obviously they're actors, and that's the idea. But it's funny to hear how different he sounds. He's very middle American, I think. In his regular voice, yeah.
Oh, I thought he was from somewhere else.
No, you should look it up. It's pretty cool and pretty great at the acting job that he's doing as well.
I've seen him as Zaz on Gotham.
Oh, is that what he's from? Oh, jeez.
Yeah, he was a big part of Gotham. Zaz was a pretty big deal in that show.
Oh, wow.
He wasn't and it was not the Zaz like we've seen in Birds of Prey or Batman Begins, of course.
Right.
He was different, I guess, or quirky. So I guess he was more like Birds of Prey, I suppose, but he was kind of quirky.
Was he shaved and bald as a billiard in that too, with his eyebrows and
I
everything.
think he has alopecia.
Yeah. I just wondering if they put something on his face.
No, they didn't.
No. Okay.
No. I mean, Zaz usually is anyway.
True enough. True.
He just has the tattoos.
Yeah. Okay, so that's pretty much what we watched, but there was some other things to talk about as well. And before we get to the Miss Marvel finale and
we need to know about
other
Ted Lasso
things, man, we've been talking about that every week. Seemingly the mystery July date. I don't think that's coming anymore, Chris. So
I don't either, and I'm kind of brokenhearted, but that doesn't change. We can still believe. So. I don't know. It's like it's done filming. That's confirmed.
Yeah.
Give me my Ted Lasso. Come on now. I mean, I can only watch so much Blackbird. It's very sad and depressing.
I actually I watched the trailer for that after you recommended it last week, and it looks pretty wild, pretty gritty is an overused term, but yeah, it looks very good.
I like it a lot.
I have to get to it,
but it is not fun. So.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about the Lord of the Rings: Rings of Power main teaser trailer. I noticed that today when I rewatched the trailer that it's listed as the main teaser, not the main trailer or trailer number 1, which I think was very interesting. And we talked about it. We got some of our friends' insight on it, and I want to say that nobody's really overwhelmed with this first main teaser, and I'm thinking it's because we still have no idea what the show is about. What's the story of this TV show? This main teaser doesn't sell it about what the central conflict is. We see some things that it could be with this comet, with Elrond and I can't pronounce her name, Gladriel, I think.
Gadriel, I think.
Gadriel or Gladriel, her character talking about the evil, all that kind of stuff. But I don't know what this show is about yet. And some of the stuff that I found from this trailer, from my first watching of the trailer, it felt very wooden, very stale. Characters just talking to each other. Not a lot of, I don't know what it was. Emotion may be the wrong word, but I don't want to say I'm worried or concerned about the show at this point because of, the show looks outstanding. One of the comments on when we tweeted it out from the Geeks Twitter account, Ian said, well, that looks expensive. And it does. It looks absolutely amazing. The sets, some of the CGI looks very, very good. The sets, I just want to, there's some really grand shots. They show the mines, the elf village, the human villages, all that kind of stuff. It looks outstanding, but something, and Ian says it, something about the dialogue just feels a little bit off. There's something off about this main teaser, Chris. Do you agree?
Kind of, but I feel like you don't need a lot to sell this show. Because it's not like, and I'm not making this comparison in a negative way, but it's not like Game of Thrones where I think they need a little bit more to pull people back in. Okay. I think Lord of the Rings is kind of like an evergreen thing. Because no matter what you think of the Hobbit trilogy, everybody goes back to that original trilogy, which is universally loved, I think. So in a case like this, you show some elves, you show some dwarves, there's some conflict, look at some cool set designs, I'm in, And not all the dialogue in these movies were even that special anyway.
Okay.
I'm not saying they're bad. I'm not. I love these movies, but sure. I just don't think that they are, not Shawshank Redemption, but they are great films and they're great stories. So yeah, I don't really get the credit. Well, I understand the criticisms, but they didn't bother me. I would like to know what's going on though. I will say that.
Yeah, and I was concerned when I first watched the trailer, but then I said when I watched it again today, I noticed the title of it was main teaser. So we're still getting an official trailer. The show comes out. Yeah, well, the show comes out September 2nd. Obviously, we have San Diego Comic-Con. That's this weekend or this
weekend. Yeah,
midweek? I don't know when it is.
Well, it's Hall H is on Saturday for the Marvel stuff. So
okay.
I'd imagine they're gonna, have all kinds of stuff the next from Friday to Sunday. This isn't now. No, not watching the trailers for the show. That's kind of fun because you just know it's Lord. That's what I'm talking about. Though. You just know it's Lord of the Rings goodness, and it's all you need.
Yeah. Yep.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah, you've done this. You did that with the Batman. You stopped watching a lot of the stuff, and I like to think that I'd like to try and do that, but I want to get I want to build the excitement inside myself to be. But like I'm gonna watch it, Chris. You and I are gonna talk about it, so there's nothing that's gonna stop me from watching it.
I didn't know.
We haven't announced it yet. It's still a ways away, so we're not going to do that just yet. But maybe when the official trailer comes out, maybe I'm still going to watch it. But I don't know. It's an interesting idea not to do that because it's going to be one of the biggest shows of this year. At least for a week or so, or a little while until Game of Thrones starts, and we'll see how that goes too. But it's going to be huge no matter what. Chris and we also talked about this. The show's not going away. Amazon is throwing, boatloads of money at this. They've got a, 5-season plan. They've got, the final scene of the final show of the final season planned out already. It's not going away. Whatever the show is, that's what it's going to be. They can do some small changes here and there, but this is the show, and it's coming whether you like it or not.
Ian says, I love that no one famous is in it, all fresh faces and new talent. This is something I like too, because I feel like in the original trilogy, there wasn't a lot of familiar faces either. There was Elijah Wood, who everybody knows mostly, Sean Astin, who I think a lot of people know but don't know his name.
Yeah, new but don't. Yeah,
right. Yeah. Other than those two, I don't think there was a lot of recognizable faces. Even Hugo Weaving, I don't find that recognizable because most people think of him as Agent Smith, and he had sunglasses on the whole time. Sure. Plus, he looked completely different. So I like that. That's kind of a Lord of the Rings thing. Lesser known actors for the majority of the cast, and that seems to be continuing here as far as we know.
Well, and it made.
I forgot Kate Blanchett's also in it.
It made movie stars, Viggo Mortensen, Orlando Bloom, even the other hobbits, the one that was in Lost.
Actually, maybe I'm wrong because everybody's naming other actors, and Ian McKellen's also in it.
Yeah, but Ian McKellen, what was he in? Was he already Magneto at that point?
I think so. I'd
have to double check that if he was Magneto before or after that.
I might be wrong there. I think I am wrong after remembering Ian McKellen, the Hobbits.
Well, the cast is already it's 50 people, so they're naming 5.
And Christopher Lee. Yeah. Okay, never mind. I'm wrong. Either way, the new one has no stars. It's cool. I am wrong. I feel like I think there's more too. Now that the wheels are turning, there's more actors.
I think there's a line between big name actors and actors though, like Sean Astin.
That's true.
Like Sean Astin and Carl Urban. I would put them at the same level at that time. Ian McKellen, he's obviously an older guy. The stage. I have to double check that X-Men thing. I'm not really sure about that.
Well, X-Men was 2000. What year was Fellowship?
X-Men was before Lord of the Rings. Ian says. So there you go. Kate Blanchett. What was she in it for? A total of 5 minutes. The entirety of the movie, depending if the extended ones. Yeah, again, that's
a big deal.
Yeah, that wasn't a big deal.
It's a big deal. It wasn't a big deal. I think of Encino Man when I think of Sean Astin, though.
Sure, I'm not saying these people aren't they're not people like name actors, but I don't know if they're they are who they are now, and I think Lord of the Rings helped that.
Sure.
That's aside from the bigger names like Christopher Lee. Christopher Lee's Christopher Lee. But Carl Urban, Viggo Mortensen, Orlando Bloom. Sean Astin's kind of what he is. He was in Goonies for Christ's sakes. So people know who Sean Astin is. Elijah Wood, same kind of thing. I don't know. Which we're trying to talk ourselves out of this, Chris. So we could just move on. Because we're getting lambasted in the comments about it anyway. So
yeah,
let's move on.
I'm sorry,
our take's not sticking here.
No, and we were wrong. We admit that. We didn't think that one through.
Yeah. Okay, so we're excited, but that main teaser didn't really sell us a lot. We'll see if there's a main trailer at San Diego Comic-Con or so. Okay, let's disable the comments. How do you the disabling of the comments? Okay, let's talk about the Miss Marvel finale.
Yes.
We'll talk a little bit of X-Men towards the end of it as we get there, Chris. But
there was more to it than that.
Well, yeah,
but
we have to talk about more than one scene
All
in the
right.
entirety of the Miss Marvel finale.
You're
if you
killing
want.
me. You're
yeah.
killing
So
me.
Overall, what do you think of finale? What do you think of the series on the whole?
As a whole, I love the series. I thought it was really, really well done. I put it above like Captain America. Was it called Captain America and the Winter Soldier?
Falcon.
Oh, well, he's Captain America to me.
Yeah, he is now.
Yeah, I put it above that. I think it was better than What If, of course. You and I both did not like What If.
Nope.
It's probably better than Hawkeye for me. I don't know. I'm not good with ranking things. I think but I really liked it a lot. I thought it did a lot of great stuff. But what I feel like it was best at was we'll try not to spoil anything this time, Grabs.
Yes, we will. We have to.
Do we?
How are we going to talk about the one thing?
Oh yeah. Okay. You might have to have some earmuffs on, Grabs. I lost my train. Yeah,
Sorry.
I think it does. When it was at its best, was the character stuff. That's what I liked the most.
Yep.
I really liked the character of Kamala and her world, her friends, her family. That's what I liked the most. The action, it kind of lost me every time there was action, especially in was it the 5th episode where there was the chase scene with the red daggers and the clandestine?
It was the 4th or the 5th. The 4th or the 5th one, because the 4th is when she goes to Pakistan to begin with. So
the 5th is the cool flashback. Okay, so the 4th episode was like as a whole was not my favorite, but other than that, pretty solid show. I liked the finale enough. I thought it was decent. I love that she had the costume on the whole time. What I didn't like is that it was like Home Alone in a high school.
That was so weird.
It was weird, and I was like, what is this? And Cameron, he didn't really work for me in this finale.
Yeah.
I don't think we knew him well enough. And that injury he kept nursing through the whole thing didn't work for me. Why did you get injured? What happened? But other than that, it was not bad.
The series on the whole felt like two different series.
Yes.
Episodes 1, 2, 3, where she's at home, she's in New Jersey. There's the specifically the first 2 episodes, I think, with the texting, I don't even know what you call it, the words that are changing, the words that are on the screen, that are kind of inhabiting the world that she lives in. I like that stuff. I wanted more of that stuff. And then as soon as she goes to Pakistan, the series completely changes, where there's the weird chase scenes, the weird red dagger stuff, like you were saying, Chris. Specifically, that first little fight she has with I can't remember his name, with got the red bandana over his face.
Red Dagger guy.
I thought that whole scene was very. It felt like that the first 3 episodes were very much something different from the MCU. Yes. And then for 4 and 5, it felt like, oh, here's the MCU with weird, goofy action and weird, goofy dialogue.
I would say 5 was a flashback episode.
For the entirety of the whole thing?
The majority of it was a flashback. It did snap back to reality, but just for the final, when they were actually opening the portal.
Got it. Okay. And then I agree with everything about you said with the episode 6 with the Home Alone in the school, but then they brought it back around with the family stuff.
Yeah.
Specifically with the costume, and then the name, her name. There's the scene where her father are on the roof. All great stuff. So I like this one more than the other ones. I'll stick with you and not rank them, but I like them more than majority of what I've seen from all the other Disney Plus shows, because aside from Moon Knight, I haven't liked any of the other ones.
Well, Moon Knight was pretty cool.
I agree with you.
Yeah, and there's some discussion in the comments about the villains, and I really agree about that too.
Yeah,
I think in a lot of these superhero endeavors, whether it's a TV series or a movie or a comic even. Your
Yep.
hero's only the story can only be as good as the villain is. If your villain's not good, the rest of the story around them is going to have a problem, and that was kind of the case with this for me. I wasn't interested in the villains at all, whether it was that group or that agent from the Department of whatever it's called.
It's so bad. I absolutely hated the entirety of those scenes, and that the woman specifically. I know her from Orange Is the New Black. I think she's the warden in it. I found the I forget, defense, or starts with a D, Department of Damage Control.
Damage Control, that's it.
I didn't like her at all, in the entirety of that group. I agree, and same with the family villains who you hardly see, and you hardly don't know what they really want and why they want it. And
so you're just angry. Most of them don't speak. And they have weapons. Okay.
Sounds great.
Give me more Kamala and her family. That's what I'm in for.
Agree, 100%. It would have been interesting how, we're seeing a trend a little bit with these the Disney shows with the 6 episodes, where they need 2 more, they need 3 more,
or just better balance in general.
Or make a movie and cut out some stuff. Don't add some stuff and then have to cut it short. Just cut some stuff and go straight to the end. So I think they have a problem now with these 6 episodes going forward. We'll see what happens with She-Hulk, but 6 just does not work for me.
I like Lauren's question here. What's more important in a superhero movie or show, the emotions or the action? I think there needs to be a good middle ground, and that's what some of these shows have been missing the point on. Like WandaVision was all emotion, which was fantastic. And then when it came to the action, I didn't like it. But then you got something like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which I thought the action was great. Everything else, not so much.
Yep.
Moon Knight was a really good blend for the most part, but not enough Moon Knight. I think Hawkeye is probably the one that might have got the balance the best. Because Hawkeye had good character stuff and good action. Like, it's not really it didn't feel off, except for the finale, which was a whole different thing in its own. But I think that might have been the one that got the best balance. There should be both.
Yeah, I agree about the Hawkeye thing, specifically the chase scene where she's shooting the arrows out of the car, and they're on the bridge and that kind of thing. So I agree about the action in that one, for sure. So let's get into the big thing. So if you haven't seen the Miss Marvel finale, we are going to go to spoilers for, I don't know, roughly 5-10 minutes. So if you want to drop off for a bit or just hit mute for a while, that's fine as well. So
are we gonna do a countdown? Because countdowns are fun.
Okay, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So there's a scene with Kamala and Bruno. Bruno is, I don't know, he analyzes her DNA. Of some kind, and he realizes or comes to realize that she's her DNA, her genes they're mutated. She's a mutant, and it's interesting you mentioned Kamran. One of the things I instantly thought of from the season finale is why is he acting like Havoc? He can't control. I pictured Havoc in First Class where he can't control the thing that bursts out of his chest. I'm like, wait a second, is he a mutant? Why is he doing this? Are they?
That was pretty quick. It was pretty quick.
So we get this big reveal, and they play the music. They play the X-Men theme song, very short, like 2 seconds or something.
It was good.
Chris, we've talked about the MCU going forward in earlier shows, but how they should include X-Men, how they should blend the X-Men and the Avengers. This is one of the first biggest things that they're the mutants are coming, the X-Men are coming, but they're doing it with Miss Marvel. So, Chris, I know you're excited about the X-Men. I know that, but are you okay with how they're going to do it now? Miss Marvel is a mutant, is an X-Men, or not an X-Men, but are you okay with this? The way they're going to be bringing this in?
As long as they're there, I don't care.
Okay.
But to get into not too many details, but my only issue with it is how it works. Because with Kamala specifically, her being a mutant doesn't affect me. That's cool. The creators even said that's what they wanted originally, but they couldn't do it because at the time Marvel couldn't make X-Men movies. So Marvel said, "Hey, we got Inhumans. Let's just roll with that train."
Okay.
So her being a mutant doesn't bother me. What I'm curious about is if she is a mutant, what is the bangle for?
Okay.
And I've seen a lot of fan spec online saying, "Well, her mutant power unlocks the bangle's power."
Okay.
Which, okay, but then I was thinking maybe it's like Cyclops' visor. It allows him to control his power.
All right.
I'm trying to rationalize it, or maybe it's like there's really not many characters in mutant lore who need a conduit, but that's
Right.
I was like, okay, maybe it's like Cyclops. It helps her.
Mm-hmm.
That's where my only concern is, like, how do you explain that part? Because other people said, well, her mother is a Jinn, her father is not, so clearly the X gene comes from him. But there's no other mutants in the family that we know of. So, but also she's at the right age where the powers would manifest. But again, is the bangle her visor? I don't know.
I like that. Is the bangle her visor? I like that they're doing it. I like that they're bringing the X-Men, or they're bringing mutants into it. I also like, or I don't care that it's Miss Marvel. For me specifically, I have no relation to the character. I have no affiliation with the character. They could have made her 6 feet tall, sure, and a man. I would have been okay with Mr. Marvel. Doesn't matter to me. I have a problem with her powers, which we've talked about. I just thought it was weird. Not that the powers are different than what they have been before in the comics and so on. Just that her powers overall were inconsistently, I don't know what. The problem I have with, if this is, and they played the X-Men theme, so they're saying that, mutants mean X-Men. So the problem I have with this is they're telling us, I think this is what they're doing. They're telling people who are watching this show, hey, wait a second, there's mutants here. Not Jean Grey, not Cyclops, not Beast, not Charles Xavier. They're easing people into the idea of mutants. Mm-hmm. And I've asked you, Chris, about how they should ease people into it. Should they have a Cyclops story, and then a Jean story, and then a Wolverine story, and then they culminate with an X-Men movie, much like they did with the Avengers? Me personally, I don't want that. I don't want this small tease. I want there to be an X-Men movie, and that's it. I don't want this, this slow trail up to X-Men movies, up to the realization that there's mutants in this universe. I don't want these small hints, because there's going to be another one. There's going to be another small hint. Mm-hmm. I don't think there's going to be all of a sudden now, oh wait, she's a mutant? There's an X-Men movie coming out in 2 years. I don't think that's what it's going to be. I think there's going to be these small teases and small buildups, and I don't want that. I just want there to be an X-Men movie, and then an X-Men 2, and then a Jean and Cyclops movie spinoff, and then something else, and then another X-Men movie. It was just an example. I don't. Jesus H. Christ, Grass. I don't want these small teases. Is that too much, or is that like I don't want this easing into it. They're treating the fans, the viewers, like we're all stupid, and we needed to be handheld into the idea of there being X-Men and mutants in this world. I don't think we do after 30 movies. And what is it about the hour? What's that thing about the hours? Have you seen that thing about the MCU hours?
50 hours.
We don't need it. We don't need these handholdings into these mutants, into these X-Men. Just Lauren, she doesn't want to wait for. Oh, is there a Nightcrawler? No, there isn't. There is a Nightcrawler, and he's there. Like, I don't want this easing into it. Just give me X-Men. Just give us X-Men. No, exactly. No slow burn. No. Know that Miss Marvel's a mutant, and then this other character that's not in the X-Men. Oh, they're a mutant too. This other character that's not a mutant in the original, continuity of mutants. They're a mutant too. No, Just give us the mutants and give us the X-Men, Chris.
You know, I will say this: if you guys thought my hype for Moon Knight was insane, wait till they start announcing this X-Men stuff.
Exactly, and that's
it's
what I
gonna
mean,
get
Chris.
disgusting over here. But you know,
Disgusting.
I agree with you because, like you said, we don't need to be eased in. These characters have become really steeped in modern pop culture. People
Yes.
know who they are. They know who Wolverine is. They know who Cyclops is.
Mm-hmm.
Professor Xavier. When I went to go see Doctor Strange, got a gigantic pop. You know, but that said, I don't think that it's bad if they were to introduce the characters in other stuff before the movie. Because hypothetically, let's say Feige, and I got a hat, so I'm Feige right now. I have.
Are you bald under that hat?
No, I do need a haircut. My hair's going everywhere. So I'm getting a mullet. So if I have an X-Men movie planned for 2024. I've got my director. I've got a couple of cast members, but I'm not revealing that yet. So what I want to do is I'm going to stick Rogue in in the Marvels, because I'm going to show Rogue getting her powers. She's going to kill Carol Danvers or whatever needs to happen there.
Sure.
We're going to do that. And then, a Daredevil series is coming. Guess what? I got a Wolverine coming in this movie. I want to introduce Wolverine. Now, whether that's Laura or Logan, I'm going to stick them in there. You know? And that way, when 24 comes and my movie's out, you guys have seen them already, so you're already clued in. Now, do we need this? No. Is it a bad idea? If the movie's coming anyway, I don't think so.
Yeah.
It's all in the execution of it. And plus, you're not going to hear me say no to bringing mutants on screen.
I know that. That's why I preface this like, Chris, I know you love the X-Men. Yes. You want the mutants. Want the X-Men.
But at the same time, like if I had a choice between the movie sooner or cameos leading up to a movie, give me the movie.
Sure.
But I'm also okay with seeing certain things, specifically the Rogue thing, because I think Rogue is one of the characters that got kind of the shortest end of the stick when it came to the 27 other X-Men movies we've had. We never got a proper Rogue. So what better way to introduce her than, she's going to start by taking out Miss Marvel.
Sure.
That's just my 2 cents. Maybe 10 cents.
So we got a couple huge comments here. Yeah, let's get into some of these.
Oh, we're going to start a mosh pit. Yes. How have the X-Men movies played out lately? Okay, this is true too. Everybody hates Dark Phoenix. I'm one of 10 people who enjoy it.
I'm the other one.
Okay, there's 2 of us. Now we're 2.
That's right.
So that is a good point, though. The reintroduction of them needs to be done carefully. And with some characters, people have such an attachment to the actors. Hugh Jackman, of course. But then there's also like Professor X, Patrick Stewart. People love him as Xavier. So
sure.
What about the new viewers? We're old. We know X-Men. The people that too. There are new viewers.
The only thing about that is what's your first introduction to X-Men, Chris?
X-Men, when you were a kid. The Atom.
So it was an X-Men story, right?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a Jean Grey story or a Wolverine story.
No, it was
your first introduction as a kid. My first introduction to X-Men is the X-Men cartoon,
which is coming back.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what Ian, your daughter's first introduction to X-Men can be an X-Men movie. It doesn't have to be this huge lead up. You don't have to build these kids up or anyone to a culmination event. I understand that it could be done for box office purposes, for business purposes, but for viewing purposes, for my purposes, you don't need this build up. Just give me an X-Men movie. Give my kid an X-Men story, much like the X-Men from Bryan Singer's X-Men. That told the story of Wolverine. It told the story of Rogue. It told the story of this, that, and the other thing, all in one movie. And it it spun off multiple movies after that.
And it's amazing.
And it's great.
X-Men 2000 had everybody did approval. It did. I was rewatching it the other night, and it does a good job. Like I said on Twitter, that is Wolverine's introduction is one of the best comic book movie introductions ever. And I will nap on that hill.
And those X-Men movies they're not the comic books. They're not the cartoon. It's a very different X-Men as well.
Lauren gets it. You want to tease Professor X or Magneto, that's fine, but we don't need. Yeah, that's true too. Maybe it depends on who you tease.
And teases are okay too. Like I'm okay if there's a scene at the end of anything and a Professor X. Well, we know who Professor X looks like. If they put a bald guy in a wheelchair, in a floating wheelchair, we will know that that's Professor X. You play the music over him, and you say, "Oh, I want you to join my team," or some lame bullshit like that. That's okay. But you're this thing with the little teases about who mutants are, what a mutant is. That's the other thing. They're gonna have to tell us what a mutant is. I don't need to know what a mutant is.
They will though. Midichlorians.
100%, Eric.
Yeah, I think the recasting is also an issue because yes, we know that the cinematic history of the X-Men, we know the characters, but on the same token, I am not going to get upset when a new Wolverine is cast.
Mm-hmm.
If they announce tomorrow Taron Egerton is Logan, I'm probably going to lose my mind. If they announce a female is playing Laura, I'm still going to lose my mind. It's cool with me. There was that other rumor the other day that Giancarlo Esposito, I cannot pronounce his name to save my life.
Yeah, Giancarlo, yeah.
Yeah, he is rumored for Professor X. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
But some people will not react that way, which is, it's fine. It's expected.
Agreed.
I should transform into Mr. Sinister. I'm working on it. I have the figure now to base my costume on and my new life. The new animated series the new animated series I think is going to do a lot too. Actually, because of the new animated series, we might not have these cameos and things because you got the series. And from what I was understanding, the MCU canon, or this is going to be part of MCU canon somehow.
I was going to ask you, is it going to be like What If, where it feels like
Something
What If is an extension of the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness or whatever.
Hey Glenn, yeah, that's what I heard. I don't know if that's a thing. We literally got Magneto's origin story twice in the same. Yes, we did. We've also seen Wolverine's four or five times.
Yeah,
forget. Start with lesser known X-Men and bring in bigger ones later. Yeah, no,
thank you.
Okay,
give me the Chris, whatever you want, man, but give me the X-Men.
I would just leave Wolverine out.
You have this certain relationship with Wolverine and how you want him to be used, though. You because don't want. I know that.
It's just the thing that when you have Wolverine, he overshadows everyone. It's like putting the Joker in a Batman movie. You can't have the X-Men do their thing properly on film if he's there because he's just going to command it, which isn't a bad thing. I'm just saying.
No.
Legacy characters first. Yeah, that's not a bad idea either.
Agreed.
This one, I don't know if that'll fly. I'm cool with that, but that's a deep pull on that one. If you transform, call you Optimus. Roll out. Everyone knows Batman, Superman, Spider-Man's origin. That's why Matt Reeves bypassed for the Batman. The same can be said for the X-Men. Most do know it. Yeah, I think so too. I mean, they're mutants. It's kind of all you need to say.
Yep.
What If introduced some of the characters? Did it? I don't remember that.
The one Doctor Strange, or the Doctor Strange, wasn't there a one that was in the Multiverse of Madness that was in What If? I can't remember. And
Captain
Carter.
I thought he meant X-Men. I'm sorry. I thought you meant X-Men.
Yeah, and Captain Carter was in there.
I would direct it, but I don't trust myself.
Do that scene for the 6 millionth time, please.
Yeah.
I need to see how awesome it is again.
I need more Sentinels.
Yeah, that's right. More Sentinels.
Make them bigger. Top Gun watch party soon. We'll do that soon.
I want to watch it soon too. Soon as it's on digital.
I don't think that's true, but most people know they are mutants and such. I think that's a perk. Sure. I don't disagree with that. I like this discussion. This is a fun one.
Mm-hmm. It's. I think it's because people are pretty passionate about X-Men.
Yeah, I think
Lauren obviously one of them. You obviously one of them. Two of the biggest X-Men fans that I know.
Now we're two.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Ian brings up how Stuart was Xavier in the Multiverse of Madness.
We talked about that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, but at the same time, they've established that you don't look the same in every version, so I think it's okay. I feel like you watch Loki. There's several different Lokis. We're gonna see a different Reed most likely. That's the way it's looking.
Yep.
So that's cool with me.
Yeah. So that's the Miss Marvel finale. It was something I don't think anyone was expecting that this X-Men, this mutant things was going to be coming from it, but it does make sense considering how much they did change of her powers, and this is why they changed her powers, I guess. And there was also a tease for the Marvels as well. I didn't really have much to think about that. Brie Larson as Captain Marvel, not so much.
No,
for me. No, so it'll be cool to see Kamala again. I agree with that. I think I'll be excited to see her again, specifically on the big screen, theatrical. It'd be nice to see her up there. Where's the technical file there, Christopher? Thank you. All right. So thanks a lot for the comments on that one, guys. That was great. That really helped us a lot. So let's get to the Twitter poll from last week, Chris. And it's interesting. X-Men's got one of the most iconic theme songs ever, Chris.
we're doing that one.
Yeah. What's the other one?
The actor that MCU could bring back.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll go back a little bit further then. Okay, so for Twitter poll from 2 weeks ago, there it is. If the MCU absolutely had to bring back one of these actors, who would it be? Chris Evans as Cap, Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark, Toby as Spider-Man, or Andrew as Spider-Man. The winner of the poll was Andrew as Spider-Man with Cap. Chris Evans back as Captain America. Chris, what do you want to see? Who do you want to see coming back? Older. I don't know how they would do the Chris Evans things because obviously he's old now. What do you think? Who do you want to see come back?
I would go with Andrew Garfield on that list.
Same.
I love Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. I don't think we got enough of him. I think that No Way Home was a great send-off, if you will. If they leave it like that, that's cool with me. But if they had to bring one of them, either him or Toby back, I'd go with him.
I would pick that as well. Andrew Garfield is my favorite Spider-Man. We got a couple cool comments. Our friend Aaron, he said he woke up today and chose violence. He's got Terrence Howard and Edward Norton coming back.
They were almost in the poll though. I almost switched out both.
Oh, really?
For them.
Nico is all about Toby. Eric, all about that. Chris Evans Zero as Captain America.
We can do that. We can do this all day.
At Demon Rin on Twitter says Evans and Robert Downey Jr. both had good send-offs. I wouldn't want to tarnish that by bringing them back in anything other than minor cameos. Toby got a small, complete trilogy as Spidey. Andrew is great, but was in 2 films. He deserves another shot. At The Uncanny H-Bug said he'd like to see Andrew Garfield Spider-Man meet up with Emma Stone as Spider-Gwen. I thought that was a missed opportunity in No Way Home. Phil Walsh as Toby. Troy from the Nerd Room, I think that's Andrew Garfield Spider-Man in that gif. And at Malik Kim 19 says, oh, good question. I'm going with Toby. Evans and Robert Downey Jr. have completed their arcs, and I'd want Andrew back as the Spidey in the Sonyverse. So bring back Toby and do Spider-Man 4. I'm sure Raimi would do it. What do you think about the different Spider-Man, Chris? One with the Venom Sonyverse, and then Tom Holland in the MCU.
Oh yeah, I would definitely stick Garfield over there to be that Spider-Man. I think he's probably what they need over there because they're dancing around something they don't have. Like you could tell when you watch those movies, the 2 Venoms and the Morbius film, their Spider-Man should be there, and they clearly want a Spider-Man there.
Yeah,
but there is no Spider-Man that we've seen. And I think in the Morbius post-credit scene, it's hinted that he exists, but I don't remember.
Okay.
It's Morbin time, so I might watch it again to find out.
Yeah, sure it is. All right, so that's a quick litter.
You forgot one though.
All right, what was the other one?
Grabs put in Black Widow, which was
how would they do that? Just like a Black Widow 2?
I mean, I think you could just say, "Oh, she's not dead anymore."
Oh,
I mean, if Cap returns to Stone, doesn't that undo it?
I guess it would, yeah.
Because that's what I'm thinking. If he goes back in time and starts putting the stones back, then didn't that never happen? I don't know. The time travel in Endgame is very confusing.
I think it helps that Black Widow. I like Black Widow. I think it helps that for me that I liked it. I'd like to see her back in some way, shape, or form as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Amazing Spider-Man. The Amazing Spider-Man movies aren't. I like them a lot, but I
Mhm.
know a lot of people do not. The first one I think is better than the second. The second one
Mhm.
is very, very messy. I
So
like
weird.
it. Yeah, but
Same.
it's messy.
Yep.
Doesn't matter how they do it. If they stand, okay, I'll stand and cheer in the theater. Yeah, I'm with that too. Just bring back Black Widow. I don't need. Oh yeah, Gamora would be back too then. I don't know.
How are they going to bring Gamora back in Guardians of the Galaxy 3?
Different Gamora, isn't it? The variant?
I have no. Where is she? Is she gone somewhere too? I can't remember. I
I
thought
don't
he was
know.
looking for her somewhere. Where is Gamora? Who is Gamora? What is Gamora?
Why is Gamora?
Yeah,
Okay.
who knows? I can't keep up. I think the variant thing is interesting as well. Ian mentioned that about Michael B. Jordan coming back as Killmonger or a
That'd be cool.
variant of Black Panther. I think that's a really interesting idea. Okay, so the other poll that we had, this one was from last week, and this one was about iconic theme songs. There's a lot out there. I was thinking that today, trying to pick one for myself. It was very hard to do. So we had to narrow it down, obviously, to 4, and we only actually narrowed it down to 3. So we got the James Bond theme, Elfman's Batman theme, and John Williams' Superman theme, and then we pick, and then the other one was other. The iconic, very iconic John Williams Superman theme was the winner, but we've got a ton of comments here. Ian, he's got E.T., but he said it's also hard not to choose Star Wars. Cookie says the Jaws theme. That's a very interesting one. Troy from the Nerd Room, he's got the Imperial March. What else we got? Something that's different. Zeddy, and this was one I was thinking about, was the Rocky Balboa theme.
Mm-hmm.
What else we got? Stu at Luke Spare Glove. He's got the Rocketeer.
That's a good one.
That's a very inspired pick. What else we got here? Matthew Anderson. He's got Star Wars. Glenn said there's no denying the Williams iconic Superman theme. Saw it in theaters back in '78. Dragged my dad 5 times to take me. But for me, if I am to be honest with myself, I prefer Hans Zimmer's Man of Steel soundtrack. Very interesting. Annie J. Clark, another one that I thought about today, was the Back to the Future theme. Also the John Williams Jurassic Park theme.
Oh, yeah.
Ian, he actually picked, he's got Inception on there. That's also very inspired pick. And one of the other ones from our friend Juan was the Indiana Jones theme. Chris, what do you think? What's one of your fave iconic theme songs? Obviously, Bond is a big one for you.
Yeah.
What else?
Well, on the list that we put of the 3, I would go with Bond. On if I were to pick other, I think I would probably go with Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
The Star Wars theme is it's iconic.
The main theme, or like Troy put the Imperial March on his. You go with the main
Probably
one.
the Imperial March.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the Imperial March. I mean, you hear that, you just know Vader's coming. He's coming to wreck something. Oh, Ghostbusters too. I didn't think about that. That was a great
I like
one.
Zeddy's next one too. The Terminator.
Oh yeah,
man,
that's popular too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm surprised too. But I guess it's not like or it's not just one of those themes that you regularly hear. I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think the John Williams Superman is everywhere.
Yeah.
Bond is everywhere. I think maybe it's more contained. For Star Wars, of course. And you can't like the Ghostbusters song. Everybody knows that song.
It's interesting. Pop culture songs, much like the Rocky Balboa one, or Ghostbusters. Like they're real. Those are real songs, not orchestrated songs. I want to say.
Maybe there's not. They might have. That might be what it was.
My pick, and would have been other as well, would have been the Indiana Jones one. I had that for a ringtone when I was in college. I can, having that final scene from The Last Crusade, where it's the four guys on the horseback riding into the sunset with that theme's playing over top of that. Something I'll always remember from a movie experience of mine. That's one of my faves. John Williams again. There's a theme about John Williams as well. The guy's, guy's a legend for sure.
I'm with Phil Walsh on this. I
Hmm.
also enjoy the Halloween theme.
Hmm.
That's probably on my list too for the top themes. I'm a
Yeah.
big Halloween fan too, of course, so that works for me.
Hmm.
Mission Impossible, especially if we go with the Limp Bizkit version of it. That
I
was
was gonna say which version of the old TV show, the newer movies. There's so many.
the Limp Bizkit one. The Limp
But
Bizkit one is the best.
Danger Zones, Eddie. Is that what you're thinking about?
I think that's the theme. I wonder if the new Halloween's going to have a different version because if I remember, um, Halloween Kills and the one before it had a different version. I think.
Yeah, we should. I think we're actually getting a trailer for that this week.
I think it's Wednesday, isn't it?
Yeah, so we might get a taste of that.
Pretty excited for that one.
Yeah,
The early reviews are a little strange, but I'm excited.
the early reviews.
Yeah,
Of the
there's
trailer or the movie.
no the movie. There's some
Oh,
reviews for it, and the trailer. I think too. That it's stuff like this isn't the kind of Halloween movie you'd expect.
well, that was pretty much the last one.
Yeah, kind of. I'm just hoping it's not like Halloween 2 from Rob Zombie or Halloween 3 Season of the Witch.
Yeah, that'd be interesting if they went the Season of the Witch route.
Yeah, I'm hoping
No
we're not
Michael
going.
Myers at all.
Yeah, I'm hoping we're not going Season of the Witch, but we'll see. I mean, I think it's not a bad movie, but it's not Halloween.
I get you. Easiest to say is there's a ton of iconic theme songs.
Mm-hmm.
There's no shortage, and it's interesting. I started to watch Creed a couple nights ago, and how they blend the Rocky Balboa theme into the modern age, more the R&B aspect of it as well. I like that mix. I like how they can update it for the times. Everyone seems to be in agreement about that. Oh, that's the other thing we didn't talk about, Chris. The Munsters.
Oh yeah.
You want to spend 5 minutes and talk about the Munsters?
I could spend like 30 seconds. I don't like it.
Okay, I'll give you 30 seconds because I have I have one thought about it, but you go for it about the Munsters trailer that released earlier this week.
I'm really hoping for the best. I'm trying, but nothing in that trailer excited me. Nothing. I'm getting tongue tied. They have the tone of the show, I guess, but everything else just agreed. Everything else looks bad, so bad, like a parody. The Monsters Today was a TV series that ran from I think like 1988 to 1991. It was an updated version of the Monsters, new cast. It had like Lee Merriweather as Lily. That is better. It was made in 1988. It looks more realistic. It is better than this trailer. I don't like it, but I'm gonna keep an open mind. Maybe it'll be good. Maybe I'll be wrong. I don't know. I don't think so.
It's got two strikes. It's got the cast that hasn't really excited you, and now it's got a trailer that hasn't excited you. You're still holding out hope.
I have to, because if this doesn't work, there's nothing else Monsters coming for probably the next 10 years. So I have to hope it's good.
My one thought about it, and I really have no inclusion about the Munsters, but is there something about it being a TV show and going to a movie with the tone that they're trying to keep? Was there something about the TV show with the tone and how it won't transfer over to movie longer format?
I don't think so, because you look at the Addams Family, which has two pretty solid live action movies from the 90s, and it has animated movies, all kinds of stuff, even live action shows that have worked. Or like the Brady Bunch, they made a parody of the show as a movie, and it still worked. You can translate it. It's just, I guess, how do you do it? And I don't think this is how you do it. I think this is the equivalent of a bunch of fans saying, "Hey, you want to make a Monsters movie?" Yeah. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, so that totally slipped my mind, but I knew I wanted to make sure we talked about the Munsters trailer. So that is our Twitter poll, guys. We've got another one up on our Twitter account right now, and we're asking, what are we asking, Chris? I didn't look. We're asking about MCU shared universes. We're waiting for our Driving Miss Daisy spinoff. But do you like shared universes? Yes, I like it connected. No, standalone is better. Depends on the movie. And of course, the Batman is on HBO Max. So head over to our Twitter account right now and let your voice be heard on that poll. Chris, before we get on out of here, man, let people know what you got going on.
You guys can follow me on Twitter at thatchris70. I actually put up another poll on my own account today for science. A while ago, I posed the question: if you only listen to Nickelback or Three Doors Down for the rest of your life, which would you pick? Well, Three Doors Down won that one. So now we moved on to the next round. It's Smash Mouth or Creed. So,
oh my God.
Do with that what you will. Also, again, I haven't mentioned this, but if you guys are watching on Twitter and you're commenting, we weren't able to see it, so we weren't ignoring it. We just can't see it, and that'll do it. Emmett knows all the other stuff.
You can follow me on Twitter at EmmettDavis7, but make sure you follow us on Twitter, our main account as well, at Geek of the Geeks, and make sure you search wherever you get your podcasts, and on YouTube, you will find us. Just got to search Gathering of the Geeks. We had awesome comments tonight, guys. You guys were great. Eric, Lauren, Grabs, Phil, Ian, Glenn Clark jumped on a bit at
Cookie
the end there. Zeddy, Cookie, I think that was everybody.
Nico,
you guys were
with
awesome.
us for a minute.
Nico said, "Hey, what's up?" So yeah, awesome. Specifically during that X-Men talk, guys, you guys were great. That really made the show a lot of fun. So check us out next Sunday. We're gonna have some stuff to announce. Probably should announce it soon because we've got things coming up, Chris. So we'll get started on that.
More sinister stuff.
Yeah, more sinister stuff. Sinister Six, Mr. Sinister, all the Sinisters. In saying all that, for Chris and I'm Emmet, and we gather on Sundays.
Latest, Gators.